She has 3.36 million subscribers. She is clearly not a dummy. She's been doing this for a while too. If you take a look at her stuff, she's got 10 million views on some of her videos. Her oldest video started 4 years ago. Looks like she started off with fitness and stuff, and she really figured out her thing. So like I said, the channel's pretty lit. Like I said, 96 million views on this one, 20 million views. So she's clearly a talented individual. So she's definitely not a dummy objectively.
What do you do?
But one thing I've noticed with these modern chicks, right, is they will, right? Oh, look at that, we're getting recommended. All right, life's good. Hey, anyways, going back here, right? So with her, like I said, here's the thing, right? With a lot of these modern chicks, right? So I'm compassionate Chad MLD here, as you can see. I'm having compassion today, right? And the thing is, with a lot of these modern chicks, the problem is they just don't have a good understanding of how male and female relationships work, because typically they don't have a good model at home. They're either coming from a single mother household, or they're coming from a household where either the parents didn't love them, the mother is an overbearing woman who is, beating down the father to like he's a hollow shell of his past. So the thing is, when you have these kind of households not really teaching them healthy models and healthy situations in regards to their relationships, then the problem becomes like, basically these girls have no idea what a healthy, loving relationship looks like, so they don't know what to look for. And what I've noticed too is a lot of girls that I date, because I like to interview the girls that I date. I like to kind of find out what makes them tick, because for me, it's very interesting, because I have my degree in psychology, and I just like to ask questions to everybody to like what makes them tick, what exactly is going on with them. And a lot of these girls, they will get into a situation where they're on a man's rotation, right? They're just one of many women that he's sleeping with. And the thing is, when you're just one of many and you don't realize it, what you'll do is they'll start to say, oh, I'm his girlfriend, this is my boyfriend. And they'll start to put labels on a relationship that's non-existent. The reality is she's just getting pumped and dumped by this guy, but she desires this guy so much, and she doesn't have enough self-love and understanding of relationships for herself, that she just clings on to that for an unhealthily long amount of time, and wastes her youth, and just basically gets used by a guy who has no relationship intentions for her whatsoever. You're going to see that exactly in this video, and it gets played down a time and a time again. Let's give a little breakdown here of this episode, because I got to tell you, boys, this is something to be seen. Okay, let's take a look here. Can I get?
Shut up and take my money.
We got another one. Oh, hey, are you really? No, you're not. I'm 50. Love you too. You are not 50. Are you really 50? You're not 50. Clary, are you really 50? You look great, man. God damn it. I don't like the way this is going. Why do I like you? This is not okay. I got to fill my heart with hate. I need to go watch some of Richard Cooper's content. Dang, Aaron, you're the man, bro. I love you, dog. Listen, buddy, at the end of the day, my hate for you is love. You know it. I love you so much. Aaron, stick around, watch this. This is going to be quite the episode. I wish I could make this a little bit just too small here. Oh, whatever.
Question. What do you do when you suddenly realize that you liked a boy for 2 goddamn years? Wait. I actually once dated this guy, and according...
So, first things first, when she says, I actually once dated this guy, she was not dating him. Okay, here's the reality, okay? She was not dating him. She was on his rotation. And this seems to be, I don't know if you guys remember, when I did a breakdown on that girl, the Kim Chi Princessa, same thing. Asian girl in LA getting used by a guy who outranked her in hotness, and her becoming obsessed about it and then talking about it on the internet. This is a trend, and it's not a good one.
Turning to pages and pages in my diaries, I had the gut feeling he would be my first boyfriend and true love. Until 2 years later.
Oh, I have a question for you. Did you get a girlfriend?
Okay, let me take you back through the pages.
So another thing is this too, right? Massive, massive, massive red flag is when a girl that you're dating is publicly documenting your relationship on social media. Even if you're completely anonymous and nobody knows who you are, okay, absolutely haram, not okay. That is 1,000% a red flag. You do not talk about your private relationship to an audience of strangers in such great detail. Okay. I dated a Chinese girl. This girl's Chinese too. I don't know. Maybe this is a Chinese thing. I dated a Chinese girl for a while, and she wrote about me a lot on her like Chinese blog, like on her Weibo blog, something like that. WEIBO blog. And she would write about me all the time, right? Because she liked me. But she kind of wrote like in the sense that like, she was being snarky, like, oh, he told me I couldn't do this and he refused to do this for me. Who does this guy think he is? But it's funny because she always came back, right? And this was the same girl who was like, had this huge feminist presence, but then would get on her hands and knees and tie my shoes when I asked her to. And to top it off, she was a hoarder. She was an actual hoarder when I found out about this. And I walked into her house. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is pure comedy. So red flag upon red flag upon red flag when she is publicly documenting your relationship for her own ego and her gratification. And that's exactly what's happening here. So this is not okay, first and foremost. Okay. So.
I'm going on a trip with this guy I'm dating, a boy full of stars. I really do think this one is genuine.
Do you see his boyfriend material?
I do.
I don't know what went wrong in my head, but did I just go on a trip to be ignored 90% of the time? Yep. Do I understand?
So again, right there, a woman with healthy self-esteem would not go on a trip with him to meet a man, pay to fly out and meet him, right? And be ignored 90% of the time and stick around and think like this is okay. Like again, this is a symptom of somebody with low self-esteem, because that's inappropriate treatment, man or woman. If a man flew out and a woman ignored him 90% of the time, you'd be like, dog, what are you doing? Like, are you a simp? Like, do you have any self-respect? What's going on here? Same thing here for her. If she goes out there and she was neglected by this guy 90% of the time, that's not okay. But again, we're going to go into why this happened, because at the end of me explaining all this, I'm actually going to show you how this relates to hypergamy, how this relates to these women endlessly status chasing, and why women, especially like women in LA, are just like perpetually single and perpetually miserable, because they are. Have you ever been to LA? First of all, like, oh my God, LA is just yikes, bro. Haram. If you're a spiritual person or you're in tune with any kind of emotional intelligence or anything, you could feel the filth in the air when you land in LA. Every time I'm in LA, the number one thing I'm thinking is, get me out of here. I do not want to be here. The people are fake. The culture is just awful. It is just, I mean, everybody's good looking, but that's pretty much it. Like, they are all dead, awful and evil on the inside. The taxes are high. The crime is high. The traffic is terrible. The prices for everything is overblown. Like, it's just filled with people who are empty, trying to feel part of something. And I could just feel the wickedness and evil in the air when I'm in LA, and I just do not want anything to do with that place.